try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We've got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. They always have been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the correction on Bitcoin that we have been talking about all week, because as you may know, Bitcoin has been under a major rally over the course of the last 30 days, rallying from $38,000 all the way to $53,000, a $15,000 movement that has made many people millionaires because of the portfolio that they are holding in Bitcoin and in alts. But ever since Monday, we've been talking about a potential drop on Bitcoin to as low as $48,000 as a result of weakening bullish sentiment. Today, we're going to be talking about how that correction has continued, and we're going to talk about where Bitcoin might be going next. So we've got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and introduce everyone who is in chat. Really looking forward to this episode of Coffee and Crypto Live here on #FinSov Friday. Very excited for all of you guys, and I'm going to have a poll for you a little bit later because of the date that it is being FinSov Friday. Shout out to Crypto Nebs coming in first, said best TA channel in the world. That is the goal. Thank you so much for that, Crypto Nebs. Queen is in chat. Sean O'Brien, Marley 123st Thirst. Never know. Jason Berry's in chat. Joe Bollier, Christina Orozco, Queen is in chat. Striker RJ, Alex Nibo, DJ Morales, Ivan Cunanan. Yes, Cunanan. Yes, Cunanan. Bitcoin Trenny's in chat. Satchet321, Crypto Surge Legan. Eagle GP said, good morning from Malibu Beach. Shout out to Malibu Beach. Schmedley B's in chat. Brian Hoskins, Stay Calm. David Mastro Giacomo is in chat. Awesome name. Is that Portuguese? I bet that's Portuguese. Shout out to David. Buenos dias, Jeb. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien, ¿y tú? Man Glitter's in chat. Trav DeSav is in chat. Ronnie Ruiz. Sweet Benabear's in chat. Brian Barrett. Goodness gracious, there's always so many people. It's so hard to get caught up. I started that a while ago, and the viewership is just blown up, so it's so hard to say everybody's name. Let's see. We're going to run through real quick, and then we're going to get started. Warren McCarty, Kunky Bonk, Coin Denif, Valentin Zargoza, Daniel Silva, Wayne Lees, Balam Salim, Philly Skills 1428, Thomas Lean, Jeff Dayton, Stay Calm, James Preston Jones, Sweet Benabear, AOK, Warren McCarty again, Kirk, and Captain Swanky Pants from Washington State. Shout out to Washington State, one of the most beautiful states in the Union. I went up there when I was in 8th grade, and goodness gracious, I almost lost my glasses and drowned in one of your ponds, in one of your lakes, but it is so beautiful up there. So beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm not kidding. I tried to swim across a lake up there in Washington, got out in the middle, and I was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I am going to become a reef on the bottom of this pond right now. It's like a half a mile across, but little scrawny little Jeb in 8th grade is like, oh, I got this. I didn't have that. I was a good swimmer, but that was a long way. Anyway, Washington, beautiful state. Shout out to everyone who is from Washington State and the Sound area. Goodness gracious. My favorite, most beautiful piece of nature in the entire continental 48. All right, let's get started, guys. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's dive right on into it. We're going to start on over on CoinMarketCap. Right now, Bitcoin is trading at $50,989, down 1.38% in the last 7 days. We've had a lot of sideways action on Bitcoin this week, guys, and that does denote that the bullish strength is running out. I will point out that fear and greed is still relatively high, sitting at 72, and that is a good sign. It does indicate to us that the bulls are still largely in charge. It's not so much that they've given up, it's that they are starting to have less strength than they did relatively recently. And the question becomes on that, where is Bitcoin going to go? Are we going to go into a major corrective movement, or is Bitcoin going to be able to go through a massive rally, and it just needs a small correction? I think the latter is most likely. Ethereum up 6% in the last 7 days, going on a major rally. It's up to $3,000. Ethereum will likely be hitting $5,000 within the next 9 months. Very excited as somebody that holds a lot of Ethereum to tell you that. Binance up 4.87% over the last 7 days. Solana down to $101. I think this may be some delayed bearish price action coming in from the fact that Solana went down a couple of weeks ago. Very, very disappointing. I was getting to be very proud of Solana. Going to be very proud of Solana for not going down, because that was one of my biggest concerns about it. Because quite frankly, if a blockchain can go down, can you even make the argument that it's blockchain? And if you can't make the argument that it's a blockchain, then how do you make the argument that it's not a security? I am invested in Solana. I am, however, quite able to sleep easy at night, knowing that it is about 1% of my portfolio. I would love for it to be more of my portfolio. Ethereum makes up almost 30% of my portfolio. Solana, I would love to be more of my portfolio, but until they fix those issues, I simply can't justify it. Solana's performed very well for me, but I am hoping that they can be completely done once and for all with these outages. It's complete nonsense, and I think it is part of the reason that we're seeing the drop over the last 7 days. A lot of things in the crypto space are down, however, over the last 7 days, so I'm not saying that Solana is the only one. XRP is down 3.76%, Avalanche down even more than Solana, down 9% over the last 7 days. Tron, on the other hand, up 5.6% in the last 7 days. This is the entire cryptocurrencies market's way of printing a spinning top. You've got some bullishness, and you've got some bearishness, and the altcoins can't decide which direction they want to go. Some are up, some are down, some are sideways, some are going left, some are going right, some are going to the moon, some are going to Hades, some of them are just stagnant. And that signals that the bulls are no longer as firmly in charge as they once were. And by once were, I mean just about a week and a half ago. That does denote that we could be seeing some more bearish price action coming in relatively soon. Okay, and we've already seen a good bit of that. Chainlink down 7% in the last 7 days. It was about 5 days ago we started being bearish on Bitcoin and on many of the altcoins, and over the last 5 to 7 days, many of your favorite altcoins are down. There are exceptions to that. One of those exceptions is Uniswap. We take a look here at Uniswap. Not very exciting. Uniswap is just kind of like moonshot. So, in case you didn't know about this, lots been going on Uniswap relatively recently. There's a post over here that says a whale removed 1.2 million uni liquidity and deposited 1 million uni into Binance. O'Daily reported that according to Look On Chain Monitoring, the Uniswap liquidity provider started with 0x EAB, removed the liquidity of 1.2 million Uniswap, approximately 8.7 million, and then deposited 1 million Uniswap, approximately 7.25 million, into Binance. So, kind of hard to tell what exactly is going on over here. We're going to look more into it. But if you are a holder of Uniswap, you're happy right now. I'm a holder of Uniswap, and I'm happy right now. So feel free to look at your Uniswap bags and see how those are doing. I've been buying Uniswap. People, the funny thing is, people made fun of me for taking a conservative pick. Oh, Jab, that's a dinosaur project. Oh, Jab, that's last bull market's pop project. Yeah? Okay, well, to everybody who said that, and some of you in chat are regulars and you're fans of the channel, so in no way do I intend to offend you, but I do disagree with you. A lot of people got on to me, oh, Jeb's buying Uniswap. That's boring. That's lame. Uniswap has $1 billion in trading volume over the last 24 hours. It is one of the most successful decentralized exchanges in the history of mankind. Of course I'm going to buy some of that. Why would I not? And now, I'm very happy that I did. This reeks of market manipulation, so we've got to figure out exactly what's going on here. But the fact of the matter is, Uniswap is a great project, great DEX, and obviously, at the moment, a great investment. ICP is down slightly, and everything else is either up a little bit or down a little bit. HBAR is up quite a bit over the last 7 days. Caspa's up quite a bit over the last 7 days. A lot of great picks here, and none of them are done. There's going to be a lot more coming in. Render. This is a big one, up 42%. I've been looking into this a little bit. Haven't looked into it in a while, but I looked into it a while back. This is an interesting project having to do with video rendering, hence the name. If you go to the website here, distributed GPU rendering on the blockchain. Very, very interesting. The Render Network is the first decentralized GPU rendering platform, empowering artists to scale GPU rendering work on demand to high-performance GPU nodes around the world. Through a blockchain marketplace for idle GPU compute, the network provides artists with the ability to scale next-generation rendering work at fractions of the cost and at orders of magnitude increases in speed when compared to the centralized GPU cloud. That is really flipping awesome. I don't have any render yet, but I'm thinking about getting some. I would probably wait for it to calm down a little bit because it rallied so much, but that's a great idea. That's an awesome use of blockchain technology. And it is well beyond bull market all-time high from last bull market. This is what a lot of the altcoins are going to end up looking like very soon, guys. They're going to end up going parabolic. Now you can see there's been a lot of inflation, but it does have a max supply of 536 million. It's already gone through 70% of that, so the inflation will slow down from this point forward. Very excited about Render, and again, I'm looking to add some of that to my portfolio. I think it probably will go significantly higher than it has, but of course, you've already missed out on quite a lot of it. So, there's that. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to... Let's go ahead and jump on over to the charts because Bitcoin has been stagnating this week. Generally speaking, Bitcoin has been in a downtrend, and we keep having to update the triangle pattern that it's in. It was originally a symmetrical triangle pattern. Then we had to update it into another symmetrical triangle pattern. And right now, I'm going to update it into a descending triangle pattern. If you will remember, ever since Monday of this week, which is right at 10 a.m., was right about here. And it was very unpopular. Very unpopular. I'm very unpopular sometimes, guys. Obviously, I guess the popularity's won out on the long run, but sometimes I'm very unpopular. This is one of those times. On Monday, I started saying Bitcoin's going to go into a correction. It could drop all the way down to 48. So far, I said it could drop down to 48 to 50. So far, it's dropped down to 50,500. So it's almost gotten there. At the time, Bitcoin was in this uptrend, right? When we shot that stream on Monday, this is what the market looked like. People were like, Jab. 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 Are you paying attention, Jab? I said, yeah, I'm paying attention. My very own indicator that I developed with the #1 technical indicator company in the world, LuxAlgo, our own technical indicator, Crypto Jeb Oscillator, was starting to show that the bulls were running out of momentum. If you guys are not familiar, you can sign up for LuxAlgo by going to luxalgo.com/Jeb and getting access to the Crypto Jeb Oscillator. After you get LuxAlgo, you can come right in here, go to invite only scripts, and there it will be right there. Boom, Crypto Jeb Oscillator. All right. So the Crypto Jeb Oscillator is, well, awesome. We should call it the awesome later. Oh my goodness. The dad jokes are back. The dad jokes are back. We got to put those away. The Crypto Jeb Oscillator started calling for corrective movement, and there were a few other technical indicators on Monday that were coming in to be relevant. And ever since then, Bitcoin has largely been moving to the downside and sideways. If we scrub forward, you can see that Bitcoin has had a few rallies, set a new higher high, a new low. But in general, Bitcoin has been trending sideways. And the reason for that is largely because the bulls are running out of strength. We've had this gigantic rally. Bitcoin has been basically rallying nonstop for about 6 months. The last time we saw something like this happen was back over here, during this point in time, before the halving in 2019. We rallied 318% over 134 days. We're seeing something very similar take place here, where Bitcoin has rallied 112% in the span of 160 days. So smaller rally, but remember, we're dealing with larger market capitalization, so it's actually a bigger rally as far as overall value in the space, which does definitely change things. We're talking about a different size rocket here, guys. That does indicate that, look, Bitcoin's going to have to really find some strength to push this thing higher. The bigger the plane you have, in this case, a plane that's worth $1 trillion freaking dollars, the bigger the plane you have, the more jet fuel it takes to get that sucker off the ground. And right now, things have kind of calmed down after the ETF launch. People have stopped being so exuberant about Bitcoin. It's not quite as much in the mainstream's eye as it was. If we go to Google Trends, I want to see what Google Trends says on this. Go to Google Trends and look at Bitcoin. Let's just take a look at what people are searching. That sounds about right. Let's see, over the last 90 days. Yep. So here's the last, let's say the last 12 months. Here's the last 12 months on Bitcoin search over on Google. As you can see, it was at 100, which basically means this was the most search volume of the entire measured time frame here. It was at 100 between January 7th and 13th. Well, when did that happen? That was when the ETFs were launching. On January 10th, they were approved. January 11th, they started trading. We have seen a sharp drop, a 66% drop from 100 down to 37, a 63% drop on search interest over the course of 2 weeks. That was the time that we were away on vacation, and that was this period of time here. Some search volume came back with this rally, but over the last week, it's dropped again. Ever since, you guessed it, Monday. Ever since Monday, the search volume has dropped quite a bit. And that is telling. It is telling because it tells us that the Bitcoin market is no longer as much in the mainstream's consciousness as it once was. You guys have to understand, investment in cryptocurrency is a subset of the overall idea of personal finance and investing, period. And there are a ton of different fads and trends in that. You got people saying, oh, I need to go do HELOCs. If you're Rocket Mortgage, you're saying, just ask your home. If you guys were on our stream like a week ago, I just ripped Rocket Mortgage to shreds. Never do business with that company. I'm going to get a cease and desist from them now, but I don't care. Just ask your home. Oh, yeah, go So you've got $150,000 in equity. You're almost out of debt. But I can't afford my daughter's quinceañera, so I'm going to go and take a $100,000 HELOC out of my house and put myself underwater, and now I'm not going to be able to retire because I was an idiot and I lived on more than I made. There are a lot of trends going around in personal finance and investment is my point. And Bitcoin is not the only one that captures people's attention. That's why channels like Graham Stephan's and Dave Ramsey's, they actually have way more viewers than any crypto channels because they will cover crypto, but they'll also cover everything else in the entire field. The good thing about money, if you're a content creator, is that everybody touches money. So everybody's at least somewhat interested in it. That being said, cryptocurrency is a small fraction of people's interest in that. So it comes and goes in interest. There are quite a few people in the cryptocurrency space. There are quite a few people... Let's put it this way. There are hundreds of millions of people that are paying attention to personal finance trends and investment trends and stock market trends and everything. And every once in a while, Bitcoin rises to the surface and becomes the interesting thing. And you know what they do? They say, oh, I haven't touched that in a year. I've got a Coinbase account. How many people do you know that say, well, I got a Coinbase account? You invest in crypto? No. I got a Coinbase account. I got a Coinbase account. I'm a crypto user. And Brian Armstrong loves that because he just goes at the SECs. Well, me and my 100 million Americans that are investors in cryptocurrency. It's like, dude, like 90 million of those people bought 5 Dogecoin at the top and think they're investor. Okay, so the point is, Bitcoin comes in and out of interest. Unfortunately, over the last week, because Bitcoin stopped moonshotting, it kind of went out of interest. And so you end up seeing a bit of a corrective movement on Bitcoin and on the altcoins. So the point here, the correction is likely going to continue. And it's likely going to drop Bitcoin down to about 48. And from there, we'll see what happens. I do think that Bitcoin will be able to bounce from there. And I think that Bitcoin will be able to go into a major rally. I don't think we're done. I think this is a pit stop, guys. I want to be crystal flipping clear on that. Because people think, oh my goodness, I'm just going to bring out some mockery. Jab. Jeb said it's going to go down 2,000. All of a sudden, he's a perma bear. He thinks Bitcoin's going to die. I hate him. I didn't say that. So it's going to drop 2,000 over the next 7 to 14 days. And then over the next 2 to 4 months, it's going to go to all-time high. All right, you Moon Boys happy? Are we on the same team now? Are we on the same team? It's going up eventually. I'm a bull. I am a perma bull. I do not mind you calling me a perma bull, so long as you also add in there, give it 5 years, Bitcoin will almost always be higher than where it is today. If you define perma bull that way, I am more than happy to wear that garment. That being said, Bitcoin, as any asset does, has to go through a drop sometimes. That is not a bad thing. That is a healthy thing for a market. And so, rolling it back to what we do, we look for investments. By the way, if you're enjoying today's stream, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content. What do? We make sure that we dollar cost average, and we make sure that we invest into a sinking fund for lump sum. I need to make a course on this, and I'm about to run 2 polls. I want to hear your opinions on this, because I'm working on some course content. Just got, really exciting, just got a new editor working with the channel. So we're going to have more edited content coming out. Very, very, very pumped about that, and I will tell you who they are at some point in the future, but I'm very excited about that. I'm teaching them, and they are doing great. So they're still in training, but they're learning, and they're doing a great job. But there's going to be more edited content coming out, which means for you guys, more course content, because that content is edited content. But I'm thinking about making a course where I teach you the principles of how to invest in the cryptocurrency space. I would love to hear your feedback on whether or not you want that. But I kind of teach the exact same thing over and over and over again, which is how you know it's a good thing to teach, because I keep going back to it. That's how you find the root of something. At Toyota Motor Company, you know what they do? They say, you want to figure out why something's happening? Ask why 5 times. You'll find the real reason. Oh, well, shoot, we didn't hit our target. We were supposed to make 100 bajillion cars, and we only made 90 bajillion of them. Why'd that happen? Well, this machine's broken. Well, why is the machine broken? Well, Tom over here was drinking a bottle of vodka while he was running it, and he broke the thing. Okay, well, why was Tom even allowed near the machine? Well, we had an HR failure. Why do we have an HR failure? Well, because Knucklehead Bill over here needs to get fired, and we need to put a new Knucklehead Bill in there so that he will hire somebody that doesn't get drunk while running the machine. You ask why 5 times, you figure out the problem, right? If you ask why, if you ask how, I guess in this case, 5 times, how do I invest in crypto? How do I do this? How do I do that? Then you run back to the same base level plan. You know what that plan's called? Well, I'm working on that. Name's a work in progress. But basically, it's dollar cost average into 3 different accounts. Into big cap, medium cap, small cap, on a fixed schedule with a certain exchange. And you do that every single week or month, preferably every week. Even if you cut the monthly amount that you're going to put in a quarter, so you put $1,000 a month, put $250 a week, and then you also put a little bit into a lump sum fund where you're generating interest. If you ask how 5 times, how do you invest in the cryptocurrency space? Dollar cost average. Well, how? Well, you dollar cost average on an exchange that is in your written plan, and you, okay, well, how do I actually, how much do I put in? Well, you write that out there. You ask how far enough, you get the plan. Thinking about making that into a course. It wouldn't be crazy expensive, but love to see you guys, your opinion on that. The point is, in that plan, we dollar cost average, and we buy a market, which is basically the equivalent of a money market account. In your brokerage account over on Fidelity or Vanguard or wherever you are, you've got a money market account that bears yield. So you can have cash on the sidelines that is still making something. And right now, with the interest rates, it's normally about 5%. Just full transparency, we have our emergency fund for our personal emergency fund in a 5% yield-bearing account. Makes money every month. Love it. Turns into a form of income. Grows the account, and it grows about, what, 4.97%? I'll give you a tip. It's a CIT Bank is a good option. Discover has some good options. A lot of different banks can do that. But you invest into your altcoins, and you invest into a lump sum fund that you can then use not to plan for a crash, but should a crash happen. Let's not forget how many billionaires were made in the 2008 financial crisis. Many of you guys watch Graham Stephan. Many of you guys watch Dave Ramsey. Some of you hate Dave Ramsey because he dislikes Bitcoin. I completely, vehemently disagree with Dave Ramsey on Bitcoin, by the way. I like a lot of what he says. I'm totally antipodally opposite on him with him on that. But both of those individuals made bank in 08, not because they saw it coming. Neither one of them saw it coming. You know why? Because they had cash, and they started buying stuff 20, 30, 40, 50 cents on the dollar. Dollar cost average, and also put money in a lump sum fund that is generating 5% either in USDC or in a savings account. I don't care which. You can put it in USDC if you want. You can put it in a savings account if you want. And then if Bitcoin drops through the floor down to 27 grand, then you buy a Bitcoin. Right? That's what we do. I'm going to tell you the same thing over and over and over again. And the reason I'm going to tell you the same thing over and over and over again is because every day we have new viewers who have not heard this before, and you might still not be doing it. So I'm just going to kind of like pound it into your head so you actually do it, because it works. All right, let's read some chat, and we'll keep moving on here. I actually DCA daily and have been for 2 years now. Whew! Mike Lowry is on it. Love it. Love it. All we need is Jim Cramer to tell us we're about to dump. Exactly. Exactly. At this stage of the run, dips or gifts. Exactly, Jeff Dayton. Jeff Dayton's got it. Love it. US dollar never went down since 79 years. It's still today trading at $105. I think you're talking about the Dixie. Yes. No, and that's kind of the point. You don't want a currency that you're investing in to be able to go down. Now, that being said, the dollar's got its own problems, like the $35 trillion of debt that our country is in. And we need to look no further for the problem there than at ourselves, because we want to say, government, you're in $35 trillion worth of debt. And then we're over here with a negative $300,000 net worth, and we're wondering why the government acts that way. Well, probably because the electorate acts that way. So we've got to get ourselves straight, and then we've got to vote for people that have gotten themselves straight, and then we'll have a government that actually runs correctly. But yes, the dollar by that measure has not gone down, which is one of the reasons why U.S. Treasuries are considered the no-risk investment asset of the world. Nothing is no risk, but Treasuries are considered to be the least risky asset on planet Earth. Whether that's true or not is up for debate, but they are widely considered to be that. Should have been DCAing into uni. It's going nuts. Yep. I have some uni. Very excited about that. Ryan Fashuag. Fashuag? Fashuag? Fashuag. Fashuag. Fashog. Said, good morning, my brother in Christ. Good morning, my brother in Christ, Ryan. You got a cool last name. I just don't know how to say it. I hope I didn't just butcher that and not trying to make fun. I'm not very good at pronouncing names. All right. How much should go into DCA versus lump sum fund? What I generally recommend people is a 3-to-1 ratio, 75% DCA, 1/4 into lump sum, because the actual giant crashes where you're going to deploy the lump sum fund are normally going to be a lot less frequent. They're not very common. You know, just because Bitcoin drops 5%, that doesn't mean that's when you deploy the lump sum fund. I'm talking about if Bitcoin drops like 20 or 30%, like a deep, deep, deep cut. The last time I would have said, hey, think about maybe deploying the lump sum fund was if Bitcoin was like down here. And people say, oh, you're catching a falling knife. Well, that's why you don't deploy the lump sum fund all at once. What I'm saying is you use the lump sum fund and you basically just double your dollar cost averaging. It's not, you can do a lump sum purchase if the time is, let's say back over here with the pandemic and Bitcoin dropped down to 3,800. Sure, go for it. Buy a lump sum. You're catching a falling knife. Bitcoin's probably going to be worth more than 38 in the future, if you're able to see that in the future through faith, But generally, that lump sum fund, what you're able to do then is you're able to double your dollar cost averaging. You're able to double your dollar cost averaging and lower your average cost basis even more. All the while generating 5%, which is not terrible. Not bad. You're almost beating the stock market on that. Chance Nelson donated $1.99. Thank you so very much for that, Chance. That was very kind of you. Let's see. Bro, give us some of your wisdom about VeChain. VeChain is a very exciting project right now. It's gone through a huge rally. It's up to 4.377 cents. Something I want you to keep in mind about VeChain. Something I want you to keep in mind about VeChain is that, to my knowledge anyway, it has not had that much inflation, even though it doesn't actually technically have a max supply. The total supply is 86 billion VET. There's 72 billion circulating. So I don't believe there's been that much. I don't believe that there's been that much actual inflation of the market. And it is well below its all-time high. And I think the VeChain is going to go back beyond its all-time high. Something I want you to look at when you're looking for altcoins is I want you to look at their development. Look at the commits. Look at how many people are working on it. Did they just rebrand? I want to point something out with VeChain that's a big movement in the right direction. VeChain just rebranded. I'm probably about to buy a bunch of it. VeChain just rebranded. It was a minor rebrand. It was kind of a... They rebranded the logo a little bit. But if you notice, the logo is different. Why? As somebody who has done branding, the CryptoJeb brand, I'll let you in on a secret. The CryptoJeb and the Club DeFi brand cost over $250,000 in a year and a half to develop. You're like, Jeb, it's just a C. Jeb, it cost that much? It really did? I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to tell you rebranding costs a lot of money and a lot of time. And I cannot tell you how many freaking hair-pulling meetings there were to do that. And it shouldn't have cost that much. But even if it cost as much as it should have cost, it probably still would have cost over $100,000 because there's a lot of work that went into it. The brand book on CryptoJeb is like that thick. There's a lot of work that goes into a brand, and we're just a YouTube channel. Now think about a project called VeChain that's worth billions of dollars. $3 billion. How much work went into rebranding it just to change? And I know this seems crazy for any of you guys that aren't in business, but all my small business owners or even executives in larger businesses, let me hear you share with me in chat because you know how it is. For some reason, people that know how to use Photoshop make a buttload of money when they're redesigning a logo just because they want to put a little curve here and they want to tilt the E there. But it means something. It's important because it's memorable. And when you rebrand a project like VeChain, you know what happens? It indicates that there is actually development going on. And by the way, the brand looks awesome. VeChain looks absolutely dope. That's the word that we use in the industry. It looks sick. This is really cool. It's a great looking website. It is a new looking website. The white paper V3, if you bring that up, let me just make sure nothing pops up that March 2023. This is obviously about a year ago, but you can see that they're continuing to develop here. I'm not going to read the whole thing on chat, obviously, but we've got plans. They're moving in the right direction. Okay? Working on Web 3. I'm very excited about VeChain. And again, a big part of the reason of why I'm excited about VeChain is because there's clearly development going on. Which leads me to the understanding that if development is going on, then maybe it's worth more now from an underlying intrinsic value than it was at market cap all-time high back in 2021. Well, market cap all-time high back in 2021. Again, we look at market cap, not at price. We look at market cap all-time high because inflation's a factor. Market cap all-time high is $16.3 billion. Right now, we're at $3 billion. To return to that would be a 500% movement. Okay? VeChain, I do believe, is going to go through a massive rally. If you're invested in VeChain, I think you've got a good pick. I'm not a financial advisor. I am a financial coach, and I'm more than happy to help you build the structure and the systems. I'm more than happy to tell you my personal opinions on a project, but part of the reason I don't want to be a financial advisor is because I don't want to be the one telling you what to do with your portfolio. I would hate the idea of being an RIA, a registered investment advisor, because I don't want to be the one picking things for you. I want to teach you how to do it, because my whole flipping philosophy that I wake up in the morning, I say, how do I teach as many people this thing, is financial sovereignty, which means having control over your finances. If I'm telling you what to buy and you say, all right, Jeb, I'm going to go buy that, then I have control over your finances. I don't want control over your finances. I want you to have control over your finances. That's what I teach. That's the whole point. That being said, when I work with people in financial coaching, I help them set up the systems and the processes, and I help them to understand how they ought to think about things, and I give them wisdom and counseling and everything. That is a very enjoyable thing for me to do, and I do encourage VeChain. I think VeChain is a great project. All right, let's read some chat here. Philip said, how much is your financial advisor consultation? Well, as I said, it's not financial advice. We do financial coaching, and I will work with you on anything in personal finance. Obviously, most people bring to me, most people bring to financial coaching a portfolio, and they want to talk about altcoins, and that's totally fine because I totally get it. That's our target audience. But I also help people with getting out of debt. I help people with getting on a budget. I help people with being generous. I help people with making investments, and I help people with living below their means. Those are 5 of the ways that you become successful with money that the Bible teaches, and the core underneath all 5 of those is financial sovereignty. So there's actually 6 components. One's in the middle, the 5 are orbiting around it, and I help teach people how to do those 6 things. Because if you do those 6 things, let me tell you something, you are almost guaranteed to be successful with money. You're not guaranteed to be successful with money, but you're almost guaranteed. If you live in a capitalistic country where your work actually generates revenue for yourself and you're able to actually have ownership of your things, I'm sorry, if you live in a communist nation, you need to move. You can follow biblical finance all you want, but if you've got a nation that's going to come and steal it from you, then you're kind of up a creek. But if you live in the United States, or dare I even say in Europe, you're probably going to be able to be very successful with money if you do these 6 things. So I teach people how to do those 6 things, Philip. And part of that is investment, and part of that is investment in crypto, and that's where obviously I spend a lot of time because that's what people are most interested in. But I charge $150 an hour, and the reason for that is because normally when people are coming to me, they come and they say, look, I'm serious about this. I've got a $400,000 portfolio. I've got a $20,000 portfolio. I've got a $750,000 portfolio. I've got a $10,000 portfolio. I am serious about growing this, and they know that my wisdom is worth that much. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box down below. We actually just had 2 people purchase financial coaching this morning. So excited to sit down with those 2 individuals. Whenever I do financial coaching, it is 100% confidential. I will never share anything that is spoken about in that call with anybody else besides you. That is a promise. I will never share it on the channel, at least with your name. Now, if I hear a funny story or something that I might say, I had this call and this happened, but I will never share the name. You will remain completely anonymous. There are times where I'm like, hey, I learned this in a call. We'll never share the name. It's 100% confidential, totally private. There is a confidentiality there. So if you're interested, then sure. That is an option for you. The link is in the description box down below. The crypto Dave Ramsey based. You know what's funny? I had Sean Mack tell me that I'm turning into Dave Ramsey. The founder of Luxhour, I was on a phone call with him, like right over there. I was standing right there. And he said, you know what people are saying about you? They're saying you're turning into the next Dave Ramsey. I said, I never really set out to do that, but I'm going to take that as a compliment because Dave Ramsey's got a lot right, except crypto. Got a lot wrong, too. But he's obviously got a lot right. Wisdom is justified over children. There's a lot of people that are better off financially because they listen to him. But I definitely disagree with him on Bitcoin. All right. Press O'Neill said, what about the small guy? $150 an hour is hard to afford for someone starting out. I'm so glad you said that, Press O'Neill, because that is a perfect segue into our question for financial sovereignty. And the reason for that, Press O'Neill, by the way, is because we have about 7 different revenue. We have about 7 different revenue streams. We have one channel. I'm starting a second one. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but we're trying to work on that. We have a family with 2 children, and I'm spread extremely thin. $150 an hour is what I have to charge to make sure that it's actually possible and feasible for me. Because to be honest with you, I actually started out setting it at 200, and I lowered it back down to 150 because I want it to be accessible to people. There's a few of you that know this because I talked with you guys about it in emails. I raised it to 200 so that it'd be more worth my time. And then I thought about it, and I was like, but that's going to put it even further out of reach for some of these people on the channel. 150 is already a lot. I get that. That's why I want to run a poll. And I'm going to run the exact same poll that I ran on the community tab for the Crypto Jeb channel, but I want to hear what you guys here in the stream think about it. So I'm literally going to read this and copy and paste it, and I'm going to run the exact same poll for the sake of statistical integrity. But I'm going to post this in chat if I'm able. I don't know if I can. Nope, too many characters. So I will put it on screen and I will read it. Let's see here. Let's see if I can put something in the way of this. Give me 1 second. I want to hide the results because I don't want to skew the data here. But I'm going to run a poll if I can. Let's see. All right. I'm going to read this right down here. Would you be interested? And I will put... Oh, hang on. Let's go ahead and put the poll. Start a poll. Would you be interested in signing up for the... All right. Yes or no? Putting the poll in chat, and I'm going to read the actual full question because it's a little bit more than that. All right. Would you be interested in a full-blown Financial Sovereignty Academy where we teach everything it takes to live the financially sovereign life? We will be continually working on this academy for many years to come and working to help individuals and families across the world get out of debt, get on a budget, build wealth, get control of their lives, have money for pleasure and generosity, and become millionaires on any income. All of this for $99 a year. Would you sign up? Why yes or why no? That is run on the community tab, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say on that. So feel free to answer. And it's totally fine if like 90% of you say no, because I realize that's going to be a smaller target audience. But the point is, I want you guys to be able to have access to financial sovereignty without it being $150 an hour. If you want to do that, then I understand it's a little bit out of reach of everyone. But for $99 a year, I want to launch that and put a ton of content in it. I've been working on it for a while. Obviously, the thoughts have been there for about 3 years. But the plan is to get that launched. And to be honest with you guys, that's kind of going to be there for like 50 years. That's the long game. Is I want to teach you guys financial sovereignty, and a big part of that is, of course, teaching investment in cryptocurrency. And I'll go ahead and read you something that is in the notes for this academy. Because whether you want it or not, I'm building it because I know a lot of people are going to use it. But let's see if I can find. Yeah, here we go. See here. I'm going to read you a quote from. I'm going to read you a quote from some of the notes from one of the videos that will likely be going into the FinSov Academy. I can't tell you when this is going to come out. For all I know, this could be coming out in 2 years. But I would like for this to come out sooner than that. Financial sovereignty is a biblical concept that I discovered years ago in Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, where the following is stated, "And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." Now pause. You don't need to be a biblical scholar or even a Christian to understand and apply the simple commandment nestled in this verse. That's why we're here to explain it, etc. I'm not going to give you too much because I want you guys to actually sign up for it. But the goal is, for $99 a year, which I believe anybody can afford, you'll be getting access to hours and hours of content teaching you a step-by-step plan to live the financially sovereign life. I know many of you guys won't be interested in it because many of you guys are just interested in crypto, and that is totally fine. That's totally fine. That's why we have the Crypto Jeb channel, and the Crypto Jeb channel will always be first and foremost about cryptocurrency. It'll always first and foremost be about cryptocurrency and technical analysis because that is its DNA. But I also want you guys to become successful with finances. I want you to get out of debt. I want you to get control of your lives. I want you to become millionaires, and I want you to have retirement, and I want you guys to be able to be radically generous and have a ton of fun. I want you, in short, to be good stewards of your money and to enjoy the blessings thereof. And I believe that I've been given the word that needs to champion that. So feel free to let me know. Michael Hall donated $2, said yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Press O'Neill said such as real estate, tech, etc. So here's I have the vision for the Financial Sovereignty Academy, and it's going to take a team of hundreds of people, decades to build. I love it when people say that. You know, we watched a movie last night. It's called Ordinary Angels. It's premiering tonight, but we saw it yesterday. And there's a character named Sharon, and I please go watch this movie. It's just a tearjerker. It was awesome, like one of the greatest movies I've seen in a long time. It's called Ordinary Angels. Comes out tonight. You should go watch it. But in the movie, they're trying to do something crazy with finances, and they end up erasing a bunch of debt, and it's really cool, actually, from a financially sovereign standpoint. And something that the character Sharon says in the movie, it's a true story, by the way. This really happened. Something she says in the movie to the guy that's like desperate. It says, life is about saying yes and then figuring out how to make it yes. That's what I want to teach you. Is how do we say, this is what we are going to do? I don't know how we're going to do it yet. That's part of the journey, but that's what we're going to do. So yes, are we going to talk about real estate and tech? There's a lot of things that'll be going into that. The core of it will be teaching you how to go from just about any income. If you're making $10 a year, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make you a millionaire on that. But if you're making more than $40,000 or $50,000 a year, you give it enough time, I can make just about any one of you into a millionaire. Just about any one of you into a millionaire if you follow wisdom. Things happen. Get the right insurances, get the right coverages, you can become a millionaire on just about any income. Any of you. And if you know your altcoins, then it can happen a lot faster for sure. So I would love to see the response on that. I will go ahead and reveal the results of the original poll. The original poll had 474 votes. 59% of people said yes, which is awesome. I did not expect that, to be honest. I thought it was going to be like 20% of people said yes. I honestly ran this poll thinking, man, it's probably going to be another year or two before I can get to this, just for the sake of it. Because, I mean, this is business. I got to make sure that things make sense. I have a fiduciary responsibility to growing the company. And obviously, the first things first with the company is technical analysis and crypto. This is a little, it's not a deviation. It's more of it's kind of like backing up and saying this is the whole picture, right? But over here, right now, we're looking at 54% of you guys of 91 votes for saying yes. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So let's read some chat, and then we'll wrap it out. Yes, because of how you think and your history and knowledge of this space, it would be well worth it. Thank you, Alex. All right. Yes, will it include other investment strategies involving the gains made from the bull market? So the idea is that this is an academy that will literally be an academy. It won't just be one course. I'd love to have dozens of courses inside of it, all for $99, because we can make, on $99 a year, if I'm able to go broad with this and sell this and bring in a couple 100,000 people into this, then I'm going to be able to build a giant team that can build out hundreds of different videos and dozens of different courses in here teaching different facets of life. The primary course would be basically teaching you how to go from being completely out of control of your life to being in control of your life on a written budget, moving towards being a millionaire, having a secure retirement, having the life that you want, and being able to be radically generous. That would be the main course. But of course, I do want to build other courses inside of that. And by the way, for any of you that think I'm neglecting CT2A, CT2A has a new video coming out early next week. I just shot it, and there's a new video planned for it as well. So we're working on both of those courses. I just secured some editing capacity. I'm really excited for that because we're going to be able to put out more content. But just wanted to hear your opinion on that. Looks like 54% of you said yes, so that's very exciting because I do need a certain amount of people to get into it at first to be able to grow it. And so that's pretty cool. Excited to see that. Let's go ahead and wrap out with some technical analysis, of course, because that's what we're here for. And I don't want to deviate too much from the purpose of this channel. Like I said, it is technical analysis in crypto. That is the DNA of Crypto Jeb, and we are going to honor that. And that's what I love to do, by the way. That was my first love here in finance, was technical analysis in crypto, and I love technical analysis in crypto. But, yes. Oh, we just had somebody schedule a financial coaching call. So shout out to them. Again, totally anonymous. I'm not going to say who, but looking forward to that call with our friend there. Anyway, Bitcoin is still currently in a downtrend. Let's just kind of put a cap on it because today is FinSoft Friday. I do believe that Bitcoin is about to drop down to $48,000 to $50,000. Now, maybe that drop's already over. But again, the reason that technical analysis is important because it helps us to understand what markets we ought to be investing in and where we ought to put our lump sum investments and where we ought to trade if we're deciding to be traders. But let's remember, investment is the thing we ought to start with because trading a lot of times to be successful at it turns into a full-time job. Nothing wrong with trading, but just understand the sunk cost of time that's going to go into becoming good at it. So we're investing and we're dollar cost averaging in the market. And so we continue DCAing and then we have a lump sum. If we drop down to 48, then you could probably give yourself permission to add a little bit more on there to lower your average cost basis. Kind of similar thing with Solana. If you still believe in Solana, and I think Solana is going to do okay, if it continues to drop, then you might increase your dollar cost averaging a little bit. The purpose of that lump sum fund is to increase the amount of dollar cost average money that you're able to put in every week because you might not be able to afford in your budget to go from $250 to $350 a week. But what you can do instead is you can say, I am going to double the dollar cost averaging for a week or for a month because I've been putting money into this lump sum fund for the last 5 months. I could do that. You can lower your average cost basis. The purpose of investment is to get it as cheap as possible and sell it as high as possible. And we want to do that on as low risk as possible. If you do that, then you are going to be successful, generally speaking. If you follow simple principles. Simple principles. All right. Cool. So, from here, guys, I think the market's going to look at somewhat of a correction over the weekend, but I don't think it's going to be very long. I'm not looking at a protracted correction. Honestly, the correction could end in the middle of the weekend, and by Monday, we could be going up. But broadly speaking, I think Bitcoin is about to go into a major rally over the course of the next several months. So let's continue to make sure that we dollar cost average into the space, build our fund, plant the seeds in our field, and watch them grow, because we are going to have some profits to take probably in just the next several months. I really do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. And before we go, I do just want to let you guys know about a few of our sponsors that I did not mention earlier in the stream, and I should have. First and foremost, NordVPN has sponsored our channel, and that's awesome, because NordVPN is very, very picky about who they sponsor. They're a very good company. They're a very much like, we are good at what we do. They've got a lot of integrity. And we are one of the few channels that they chose to sponsor, and that's a great honor. And the reason I love working with NordVPN is because they're a trustworthy, reputable brand that's been around for a long time and has a great product at a low price. What more can you ask for than that? If you sign up for NordVPN, you are going to be getting access to some of the world's cutting-edge VPN technology that is going to keep you safe by cloaking your IP address, as well as many other technological marvels to keep you safe while browsing online. If you sign up with the link in the description box down below, you're going to get a huge discount. And if you sign up for a 2-year plan, you're going to be protected for the duration of the bull market for one low price of under $200 for 2 years of protection. And you can do it all risk-free with a 30-day money-back refund guarantee. If you sign up for the product and decide you don't like it, then boom, just say, I don't like it. And then you know what you do. You get a refund. But you can try it for 30 days risk-free with a money-back refund guarantee. Make sure to sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below, or by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb. Also, guys, make sure to check out what NordVPN sponsors 90% of YouTube. There's a lot of people that NordVPN turns their nose up at. I know this because I work with NordVPN sales team behind the scenes, because we are an official sponsor of them. And they are the ones that tell us, like, look, there's a lot of people that want us to sponsor them, and we won't do it. The difference is that most people that are sponsored by NordVPN are actually just affiliates with NordVPN. Anybody can become an affiliate of NordVPN by signing something up. We have an official business partnership and contract with NordVPN. They accepted us as an actual official sponsor with them. We don't just have an affiliate link. Most of the people you see on YouTube, they just have an affiliate link. We actually have business partnership with NordVPN company itself. So that's the difference. And I'm very honored that they would do that. My point is, NordVPN has a very high standard. So make sure to check out NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. Also, make sure to check out Blowfin. It is a new exchange that is up and coming. And if you sign up right now, you're going to get a huge bonus in your futures account after you deposit for the first 200 users only. And you can go over there and you can start doing copy trading, which, if you don't have time for trading, if you copy trade, you can still make quite a lot of money without all the risk and all the time investment. So make sure to check out Blowfin with the link in the description box down below. Guys, we are going to wrap it out. I greatly appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I am looking forward to seeing all of you on Monday. And thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling.